Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing. Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, and welcome to another live stream. Um, let's see if we can keep it going, right? I think I already did two this week. This would be my third. So, like always, feel free to let me know in the comments below what are some questions you might have about the semiconductor market, as that's what I'm most likely gonna cover today. So pretty interesting. I mean, I've done a few videos yesterday and about Nvidia that really grabbed my attention. I think we might kind of take a closer look at that earlier in a bit. But overall, pretty exciting for the market right now. Let me just see if I can start sharing screen so we can stop looking at my super handsome face. So let me just share screen really quick, and then we can get this started. And like always, feel free to post questions. I'll take a closer look at anything I can. I think that's all I have. I don't need this open. But let me get the chat set up. Let me get live stream set up. What's going on, Slim? What's going on, Slim? What's going on, Lang? What's going on, Vin? Good morning to everybody. Good morning to D Mars. Good morning to Toe. From UK, it's chilly in UK. Hopefully it gets nice and warm. Here in Jersey, it is pretty cold, and I think it's gonna get colder throughout the day. Happy New Year's to everybody, right? I'm pretty sure I said that during my last few episodes, but Happy New Year's to everybody. Hope everybody's having a great time. Patiently, Dmars, patiently waiting for Monday. Same. For those not familiar, Monday we are gonna have the CES event. And there have been rumors, right? Rumors that we've been hearing the past few days, I wouldn't say at least year or so, that Nvidia is going to release a consumer GPU. So January 6th at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'm most likely gonna live stream. It's gonna be 9:30 Eastern time. I'm gonna live stream it, and we're gonna hear what CEO Jensen's gonna say at the keynote. So I think it's gonna be interesting, right? Because for those that are not familiar, CES last year, Jensen actually didn't do the keynote, right? I think it was just an overall NVIDIA keynote, but I don't believe it was Jensen. So Jensen doing it might kind of give some hints that, hey, look, something interesting might be coming to the consumer market. So let's see what else. God bless. Appreciate the support. Hey, Jose, Happy New Year's. What are your thoughts on NBIS? I have to look at this one. Is this the international clouding company that NVIDIA invested in, I believe, maybe a few weeks ago? I have to look a little bit. I feel like I did a topic on it, or at least an episode on it, but I'm not too familiar about the company. It was just that maybe NVIDIA had invested in it. But agree. We are looking forward to CES, even though I don't know. I'm just more curious if NVIDIA is really gonna release that CPU for the consumer market. Excuse me. I don't really know how it's gonna affect the stock, right? I mean, maybe right now this excitement that now New Year's is over. We have this keynote. We might have some nice reaction to the stock. But I think for long-term investors, even if it goes up or down, it's just gonna be kind of a noise. Um, Pretty nice here. DMAR is pretty nice here in Florida. Nice. You know, I'm heading down there for a few weeks next, starting next week, DMARS. And I'm seeing that we're getting a cold front. So I'm going down there and we're getting a cold front, which sucks. Hopefully it gets warmer though. But it is definitely going to be better than this Jersey weather. Hot weather in Washington, amazing. Jose, what's going on, Slim? Jose, everyone flushed Intel down the toilet. This is actually the time to buy. It's a good 1 to 2 year turnaround play. They will turn things around. Slim, I used to be in the bucket that Intel could turn things around. I think them letting go of their CEO was probably one of the worst things that they can do. I think maybe their board does not know what the heck is happening. So Intel stock, I'm more patiently curious to see who the new CEO is before making a decision in it. But I mean, Intel building here, manufacturing here in the United States, I think is crucial. It's very, very important, and that is definitely a growth opportunity. But I think the CEO, the new incoming CEO, has to be someone I like before maybe I give some real thought on that. CPU announcement. I think there could be, right. There could be a CES announcement there for Nvidia. I know obviously we're gonna get CPU announcements most likely from AMD and Intel, as this is the core time for them to shine their core products. But yeah, Slim. Yeah, not sure where you. That's what I heard. I heard it's gonna be 40s when I wake up in the morning over there, and maybe 50s. That's the high. Jensen to change his name to Maximus Mula. That would be. I don't know. I like Jensen. Jensen with the leather jacket. The leather jacket, man. What about Madman? What about Tom Lee's prediction? What prediction did he mention? Madman. I'm not too familiar with Tom Lee's predictions. His prediction that the market's gonna crash. Um, oh wow, the Mars. That's actually funny. I have a family member down there. I normally have never been there, but I do have family down there. So yeah, right now, at least though, we're getting some good news in the semiconductor space right now, or just the tech market. I feel, and Intel, if Intel is up, maybe our rest of the players. Nvidia is up roughly 1.5%. AMD is up roughly 1.4%. Broadcom is up 3%. I wonder why Broadcom is up. This one's interesting. I have to see. Has there been any price updates on Broadcom in the past hour or so, or before this morning? What's up? What's up with Microsoft? Microsoft is up 1%. Amazon is up 1%. So I mean, we ended the year with a bad red day, except Intel. I think Intel was one of the few stocks that was green on the last trading day. Hopefully, today seems to be a really, really good trading day. I'm pretty excited. Another one that's getting some popularity right now is Unity. It's traded under the stock exchange, not Nasdaq. But Unity is getting some love right now. The stock is up roughly 14% as the stock is soaring after a Roaring Kitties post. So it might be a GameStop era again for Unity. Interesting, right? Luckily, well, maybe not luckily. I do have shares in Unity, but I'm definitely not buying on this rally. He predicted it will not. Oh, Madman. He will. I mean, I don't follow much analysts, right, Madman? And I'm I'm definitely a long-term investor. I could care less how the year. I mean, obviously, I could care, but I'm always adding money into the market. If stock prices go down, I really do see that as an opportunity. And I think I'm hoping new investors, especially new investors, if the stock market crashes sometime this year or next year, see that as an opportunity to add stocks into the stock, to add to your portfolio, right? Because, right, Nvidia, companies like Nvidia, the great time to buy companies like Nvidia was during a crash that we saw kind of after that COVID downfall, right? We can see Nvidia during 2022, it was post split at about $11 after kind of seeing a nice growth of 30, right? So during the times when things are scary is definitely the best time to add. So obviously I'm adding money to the market right now, but I always see any form of downturn as an opportunity, even though my portfolio might look like crap for some time. Vin, today I went to buy the book, The NVIDIA Way. and read halfway already. Been, I think I have to pick it up. I haven't picked it up yet. I haven't picked it up yet. I haven't picked. I, I'm hoping to either read it or have the ebook soon. So maybe we can discuss that. Still wary, yes, still wary of purchasing SoundHound. And you know, when I talk about stocks that I say I personally wouldn't buy, it's not because every stock has great return potential. There's always risk and reward. To me, I look at that risk to reward ratio, and I know that risk to reward ratio to my investment style. SoundHound is a stock that's too risky for me. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just doesn't fit my overall portfolio thesis. And if I do a video on SoundHound, I kind of mention why it wouldn't fall in my thesis. I think SoundHound and a lot of companies right now are getting excitement a little bit too early. It doesn't mean the stock price can't continue to go up. I'm pretty sure we're going to continue to see prices go up for SoundHound. Other ones are quantum computing, right? I think the market, quantum computing is definitely going to be the future in one way or another in the computational technology world. I think investors right now are expecting too much from quantum computing, and maybe they might face some reality. Obviously, stock prices can continue to go up. I mean, we can see this one that has been very popular, up almost, wow, that's insane. So stocks like these, I think, are great if maybe you're a trader and you're looking for some short-term plays. I'm looking at long-term returns and long-term plays. I don't really have the time to see, hey, look, what's happening here, what's happening here. But the quantum computing market is definitely a market I'm gonna provide more information on. Just because I'm not completely bullish in it right in the short term, I still think it's important to learn about it and learn about the top players. So I think some of those quantum plays are going to be interesting in the future, and I'm going to do some deep dives on them, at least for now. DMARS, yes, St. Lucie is a pretty nice little area. Been here about 8 years. Bought my house pre-pandemic. Nice. And you're also from New Jersey. Are you me from the future? Jose, do you play options? Yes, I do. I do options. I do play options, mainly selling puts is my main way of doing options. I think options is not for everybody. It's something I want to be honest. I got burned in options as an early investor. When I first started, I kept seeing like all these YouTubers and all these things many years ago that, hey, look, options is the easiest way to make money, is the best way to make money. Options pretty much burned me multiple years ago, but I do use them now and a lot more risk reward tolerance to it. I do sell puts, but mainly on companies that I wouldn't mind owning at certain price points. My Nvidia calls are getting killed because every time it goes up, it always goes back down fast. Do you? So I normally don't buy options though. I don't buy them. I'm more of a seller of option. I either sell puts or sell calls. I'm not really much of a buyer of options because of the time decay, all that volatility, IV, all those datas and all those Greek letters can definitely impact the value of it. So I personally enjoy the selling of puts or calls on, but usually they're covered, either covered with my finances or covered with stocks that I own. I'm in 1,000 shares of SoundHound at $5. I'm pretty happy right now. Yeah, I mean, I mentioned, right, SoundHound definitely has the opportunity to continue to grow, but I think I think there's going to be a lot of AI companies that go around the same way. I hope this green continues. I got a bunch of puts I sold on this dip from Square, Amazon, IWM, and HUD. Nice. Pretty much HUD and Square, two fintech players there, Slim. Wait, Square and fintech, I always forget. No, e-commerce, right? But nice plays there. Don't buy and hold quantum right now, only swing plays. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think there's going to be a lot of quantum stocks that could could be discussed, and we learn a little bit more about them. But quantum is still a few years away. If I'm being nice, there. I also got 143 call on Nvidia expiring tomorrow, Slim. Oh, nice. I mean, like I said, normally I don't buy calls If I buy a call, it will most likely be leap calls. Those are the only calls I would purchase, leap calls, and only during a down market. I normally don't buy leap calls in bullish markets like we're in right now. But again, everybody has their own investment style. I found one that works for me. I'm pretty sure you guys found one that works for you. Leaps are okay to buy. Yep, Sticky Monkey. I forgot to mention that until I saw that slim comment there. What's going on, Robert Jose on a run with these back-to-back live streams? Except I missed yesterday, New Year's. I just got lazy, so my apologies. I didn't do one yesterday, but hey, look, the market was closed, and I'm pretty sure you guys didn't miss me. What are your thoughts on SMR? I'm not too familiar with SMR stock. Let's see, SMR stock, nuclear scale. So this is another one that I think I'm gonna. So 2025. I mean, 2024, I think I'm the best semiconductor channel out there. Um, Maybe not by subscriber count, maybe not by views, but I believe I do provide the best semiconductor content all around. I think 2026, I want to evolve more into the technology space, especially here in the AI market. So what I think I'm going to do is start doing more research on quantum and nuclear plays. Even though in each of these videos, I'm going to most likely say, hey, look, these are not stocks I'm looking to buy at the moment. It's more stocks I'm looking to do information to get more knowledge in those industries, because I think that's important. Understanding the industry, understanding where it's going. So that's most likely going to be where I'm going here in some of 2025, learning about some of these technologies a little bit more. But SMR definitely kind of get that excitement with the overall nuclear power and kind of the data center power constraints that we're seeing right now. Do you think Nvidia will reach 125 before CES? Nvidia at 125. I don't know. I mean, let me just tell you, with Nvidia, anything is possible, though, Wink. If you were to tell me in 7 days, Nvidia could either be 150 or 125, or let's say 145 or 125, a $10 shift up or down, I would say, yeah, that's completely possible. So, and with Nvidia, anything is possible. I would never say no. I mean, 125 is definitely possible. But will it happen? That's a whole different story. So if I getting killed this morning, I was waiting for 2025 to take profits, but might have been a bad idea. Not too much of a SoFi follower. DMars, what's happening? It's not. I mean, 1.75% is not that bad. Alex, oh, we got a nuke engineer here. SMR is a nuke stock. I'm a nuclear engineer. It's a good field to work in and a terrible one to invest. A lot of capex, regulations, delay, and expensive labor. If you want to make money in nuke, work in the field. The salaries are great. The jobs are in small towns where housing is cheap. That's actually that's interesting, right? And it makes perfect sense. I wonder if, obviously, because of the new administration, the Trump administration, many people are expecting some of those hurdles that you just mentioned, Alex, to go away, right? I think right now things like capex is something that we're seeing big tech players kind of ignore, or not ignore, but saying, hey, look, I'm willing to spend the money to build these AI data centers. I need the power. With regulations, maybe the current administration, the upcoming administration, the Trump administration, might help with stuff like this. This is like the mentality of the investors, what I believe is happening right now. Expensive labor and delays, right? Delays, I think those are the two ones that can't really be fixed at the moment. I mean, with any form of emerging technology, right, Alex? I'm gonna guess and I keep showing it. I don't know why I keep showing it. It might be driving you guys crazy. But with any form of emerging technology or technology that tends to have low workforce, I'm gonna guess nuclear field has kind of a low workforce compared to other workforce out there. Can create things like delays as well. Now, do you think at some point the AI infrastructure maturity power system via small and modular nuclear power seems like a smart investment for DC providers? And I'm pretty sure this is more of a question for Alex. Let's see where Alex goes. So he does say there's not enough money in the world to push Nvidia past 160. It's a multi-trillion-dollar company. I think hold it and wait for the dividends gusher. You think Nvidia will pay dividends, Alex? I mean, I don't think. Nvidia has talked about what they're going to do with their cash. At the moment, Nvidia dividends is the last thing on their mind. I think we're going to continue to see acquisitions. I think we're going to continue to see innovation in various industries in the AI space. But I do agree, right? Being a multi-trillion-dollar company, you need a lot of money to move the stock. So there is that I do agree with you there. What's going on with Tesla? Tesla is up 1.7%. What else do we have? Let's take a closer look at TradingView. Um, let's see how the overall market is doing. So yeah, I mean, the last day of 2024 was bad. We ended up on the red, but we do see a lot of semiconductor stocks and chips and AI stocks up today. We have Net Cloudflare is up 6% on the day. NVMI, which is a semiconductor equipment company, up 3%. Broadcom is up 2.7%. We have Camtek, another kind of semiconductor equipment play, up 2.7%. So it does seem like the semiconductor equipment market is seeing some great, it's just having some great momentum. I I've talked about it in the past, right? And if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I think 2020, either 2025 or 2026 is going to be a great year for semiconductor equipment companies. I mean, we've seen companies like ASML, right? ASML, we can leave here. ASML is down on a 1 year basis, right? And this is interesting, right? I think semiconductor equipment plays got beaten down after we're seeing a great year. And I mentioned, I mean, if you follow this channel, you guys mentioned I wasn't too bullish on ASML when we saw those high prices. But now I think I'm bullish on companies like ASML, a lot more bullish on other semiconductor equipment plays, but I can definitely see why investors would want to pile up on ASML right now. Alex, Nvidia is not allowed to buy anything. I don't know if I would say it like that, Alex. I mean, Nvidia just finished an acquisition of Run AI, right? And Nvidia has made a few acquisitions this year. Maybe not something as big as ARM. Obviously, they're not going to buy something. I don't. They're not going to be able to buy something that would increase their competitive moat as they are number one already, especially those big players. But they are going to buy a lot of small companies. They're also going to invest in a lot of small companies. And those investments, those small acquisitions can help build blocks to new emerging markets, to new investment ideas and new a viewpoint of where scientists, where engineers, where machine learning, AI engineers are using their products for. So while it is true, they're not purchasing big companies, they are definitely going to make a few acquisitions here and there. I just hope, DMars, don't bring that negativity. All right, take it back. Take it back. Say you take it back. I just hope we don't sell off at open like the past 2 days. I mean, at the end of the day, right? It's, I really could. Taiwan, TSM is down. TSM is one of the few semiconductors down right now. What's Apple doing? Apple's down as well. What is Micron doing? Let's see. I know Micron is not getting as much love. Micron is actually up on the day. Alex, I think Nvidia needs to expand into clothes selling those black leather jackets and action wear for developers. I think, I mean, I don't know why Nvidia doesn't have like their own clothes store. I mean, Palantir does, right? So that's always interesting to see why. It definitely would be. I'm pretty sure I would be rocking a few of Nvidia wares if they had it, especially during these live streams or during some of my videos. Tesla just went red. What's going on with Tesla? I saw it earlier. It was a bit green. Tesla stock down. Oh, they did just announce their numbers, right? I'm guessing that's what happened with Tesla. Tesla's, they did report. I'm gonna guess they missed. We're probably gonna get some more updates on that in a few minutes. But what were investors expecting? Tesla, they're supposed to hit around 9 a.m. They just hit. The top delivery expectations, the EV giant needs 514 deliveries in Q4, far more than last year. Analyst consensus quarterly forecast 49. And let's see what Tesla's investor relations. They just announced and press release right here. Tesla. Total production of 459 and deliveries of 495. And what was the market expecting for them? Hey, close this. I don't want to see you ads. They were expecting a forecast of 498 deliveries. All right, so they missed on deliveries by, right? They missed on deliveries by about 3,000. All right. So I guess the market, however, other estimates have Tesla's quarter four total coming in at around 506. So depending on who the market, how the market was expecting things, they did miss. But I mean, the stock is up 13% in the past month. In the past 6 months, the stock has rocketed up over 74%. I mean, from those, just from October, mid October, the stock is up 85%. So the stock down 3.4% sucks if you probably bought at the top, but for most long-term investors, I don't think much matters there. Noagi, I'm long with Nvidia holding 1410. Great time to hold. And wait, I agree. I mean, I think there's always the possibility of some down cycles in the semiconductor space. We've been in this market. Most of us have probably been in the semiconductor space for a long time, and we're used to things going down and up. So as a long term, I still think Nvidia being the best. The only thing that gets margins like GPUs is clothing. Is it, Alex? I would think clothing would have bad margins, but I'm not in the clothing business. Nagi, I think Run AI as Nvidia's AI arm direct compete for. I don't think Run AI's is a direct compete of Palantir. I definitely not. I mean, I think their closest. I think if you were ever to question Palantir's future moat or future thing, it would be NVIDIA developing more NIMs or more advanced NIMs. I think right now NVIDIA's NIMs are very, I wouldn't say basic, but it's Palantir provides a lot more AI software solutions than NIMS, but NIMS is definitely kind of one of the baby steps that I would say if anybody in the AI software market, AI development market would be worried about. But these are very, very early stages. If there was a competition ever, which is not right now, that would probably be the closest thing. But I don't think Run AI. Run AI, the main investment of Run AI is this is what they call an orchestration software. So it helps with the efficiency of a GPU running at all times. The worst thing you want, let's say you're a big hyperscale customer and you purchase thousands and thousands and thousands of GPUs. The worst thing you can have is certain GPUs just not running because maybe you didn't work orchestrating their usage as easily or as efficient. Now with this, those GPUs are working almost all the time, which can help increase the return on investments on GPUs. Let's see, another question. I get this question a lot. Does CCP talk of invading Taiwan concern you? Does it concern me? Or I'm guessing you're asking more. Does it concern me as a semiconductor stock investor, especially a company like Nvidia, like TSM? I want to say I think if something like that was happening, it would create a complete market crash. There's no company that is not dependent on chips, right? Apple, the biggest company in the world, would take a massive hit. So it's not just semiconductor companies. I mean, all big tech would die. Not die, but would take a massive hit on that news, right? So if I was worried about that, I would not invest in the market at all, right? Not just the semiconductor market. If that was a true worry for overall reasons for not to invest in the semiconductor market, I would just not invest in the tech market in general. I probably would just invest in things like oil, maybe. I would be more of an oil investor. So if you have fears of it and can create and believe it will create massive risk for a portfolio, if you're in the semiconductor stocks, it would do the same for companies like Microsoft, companies like Apple, and the list goes on and on. As all these companies provide technology that uses chips, you won't be able to make a phone, you won't be able to make a computer. So I personally don't believe the world would let that happen, and if it does, it would be done in an instant. But it doesn't really concern me. Maybe they'll do bigger buybacks then. Yeah, they could also do bigger buybacks. I think buybacks is going to be the main way Nvidia is using the money. I take it back. I give up on Micron. Sold at a loss. Might buy back in the future, but not now. Why? Deliveries are bad. Tesla. Deliveries are bad for Micron or for Tesla here? Tesla is, I don't know, Sticky. No way. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't buy Tesla at these levels. I do own Tesla, right? I do own Tesla. I'm not buying it at these levels. I purchased sub 200s. I think the stock has rallied a lot. Like I said, not purchasing at these levels, but I don't think it's the next Enron. I mean, I use FSD on a daily basis. FSD is insane. Yesterday was now that FSD even reverses out of a parking lot, it got my wife and I from the restaurant we were in to my parents' house to pick up our little one after our dinner date yesterday with no interventions. I think that is insane, right? There's no other technology that can do that right now for me only paying $100 a month. And the vehicle is extremely cheap compared to some of these high tech players out there. So there's definitely some truth to Tesla. I want to say FSD as an engineer, thank you to all the FSD engineers out there. I appreciate technology. I really appreciate the levels of engineering that goes there, and I think it's improving. But again, I wouldn't buy. I wouldn't buy at these levels. That's just not me. Broadcom is also too pricey. People are betting on its 2024 prediction. Yes, I agree. I don't know if it's too pricey. Based on analyst expectations, we did see that Broadcom is not trading at crazy valuations based on expectations. And many people are saying, hey, look, Broadcom is gonna eat Nvidia's dinner, or it's gonna take market share for Nvidia building these ASIC solutions. Yesterday we got a giant reminder, and we see this exposed from Dan, where Nvidia plans to develop custom ASIC chips at a proposed Taiwan R&D center. Broadcom can't come in to. This is the great thing about Nvidia. Broadcom can't come to the GPU market and say, hey, look, I'm gonna create a GPU. I'm gonna take Nvidia's market share. That won't happen. Broadcom has to develop so much solutions, so many iterations for something like that to even take market share from Nvidia. I mean, AMD has been doing it for a long time, and they still can't really take market share from Nvidia. But Nvidia could easily come out and say, hey, look, we're entering now in the ASIC market, and they can really, really take market share from Broadcom. I think right now Nvidia is just really focusing on GPUs, as they just know that's the biggest market opportunity right now, and just focus there. But if they do decide, and I believe they eventually will decide to enter the ASIC market, I don't think the difference between Broadcom entering Nvidia's market and Nvidia entering Broadcom's market is the same level. Nvidia can definitely take market share there. Tesla's timeline is usually about 2-3 years off. Now that's a different story. If you're talking about timelines for Tesla and like roadmaps, I definitely think that's off, but the technology is definitely there. Alex, you buy a t-shirt in bulk for $5 and put an Nvidia logo on it for $1 and sell it for $25. That's similar margins. That is true. That is actually true. But remember, shipping also eats on those margins. It takes what, about $4 or $5 to ship. Probably ship a shirt depending on where you're going. So now that definitely eat up your margins. And then you have returns. Oh man. Yep, I agree, Vin. That's my biggest thing. I always hear this thought process. Hey, Jose, aren't you worried as a semiconductor investor of any invasion in Taiwan? No. As a semiconductor investor, no. As an overall investor, yes. But that's not going to stop me from investing in semiconductors. China's not going to. They've been talking about this. Alex, since you were born 1970. I think that's when my mom was born. Yeah, 1970 it was. So appreciate the support. But yeah, I agree. It's. I think too much chaos would happen if that was. In it for the long run, I would buy Tesla under 350. I think sometimes for me, what ends up happening is I end up buying at what I consider great opportunities. That if I see the stock run up, it creates some fear of me not buying for some time. Tesla, in my opinion, is that I personally wouldn't buy for a while, right? I think it would definitely have to crash a lot before I add more. I have no intentions of selling right now, though. Alex, it's enough to get FSD in commercial trucking on the main roads, interstate and autobahn. If you can self-drive trucks at night from one major city to another, that would be enough. Agree, and I mean, I think a lot of FSD the engineering that goes in FSD can be used in more than just automotive. It can be used in various things of robotics. And remember, robots is not just humanoid robots. It's a lot of different types of robots, drones, small vehicles, water, anything. The list goes on. So that technology can definitely be used in other robotics industry. Vin, what about Meta? Is their llamas keep upgrading and demand for more advanced chip? Yes, I mean Meta is definitely doing good. Meta is also creating their own AI chips. They're also working with companies like AMD and using their chips. But Meta is building massive, massive data centers. I believe the Meta announced a $10 billion data center in Louisiana. Yep, I was right. So 2 weeks ago, Meta, not just 2 weeks ago, right? Just 2 weeks ago, Meta is building a $10 billion data center in Louisiana. And these are data centers that are not going to come online till 2030, 2029. So right now, that just kind of showcases that, hey, look, even though these companies are investing big on data centers right now, 4 or 5 years from now, they need to be filled by something. It's not going to be filled by the Hopper. It's not going to be filled by Blackwell. It might not even be filled by Rubin. It's going to be filled with whatever NVIDIA has after the Rubin, or maybe after that Rubin platform, right? So let's see what else. Pandora, what's going on, Pandora? We have NVIDIA has to decide how they want to spend the limited HBM and CoWoS for Blackwell, Rubin, or ASICs. As long as they are supply constrained, ASIC is not that attractive in the short term for NVIDIA. That's another reason, right? So not only, I agree with their Pandora that right now the supply constraint market is deciding NVIDIA where they should really focus on. I think if we had a little bit more supply here, and we might have some more in 2026, then NVIDIA might be more opportunist to open up into those other industries. The other thing, though, Pandora, that we can get is now that we're evolving into new forms of HBM4 is coming out, and other types of advanced packaging, there could be ASIC chips that might just be using HBM3 instead of HBM4. So NVIDIA now can also focus on developing the best chips, but using HBM3 on maybe ASIC solutions, and maybe designing chips with these big tech players with non-advanced packaging that don't need that much advanced packaging, right? So now that the market is evolving a little bit more, NVIDIA can still use the top products for its own, and can use not lesser down technology, but technology still good for AI on those ASIC plays. So I think that also does open up the opportunity now, opposed to where we were maybe a year ago. Boom, boom, boom. Thanks, Jose. Words of wisdom. I don't know what I said. I ramble a lot. Hopefully, some of those rambling gave you some words of wisdom. Amazon's Nova against OpenAI seems like a groundbreaker for their LLM strategy. We should ask Amazon to use more of NVIDIA. I think Amazon learned from its mistake. I think they are becoming more of a buyer of NVIDIA this year. But what is Amazon's Nova? Is that their new LLM? Amazon's, yeah, introducing, okay, it's their Nova Foundation model. Well, this is because, I mean, Amazon took a while. Amazon didn't have a foundational model for a long time. It took them a while, not only until 2024 for them to really start using it, to really develop something, right? We had Gemini early 2024. We had OpenAI early 2023. So it definitely took Amazon some time. But I think Amazon is realizing, hey, look, we need to develop some stuff. They're building huge data centers as well. They're also building their own ASIC solutions as well. But I think Amazon is becoming a big buyer. It's going to be another, again, it's going to continue to be a big buyer of NVIDIA here in 2025. Price point to be considered first before buying. Vin. All right. So what are we talking here, Vin? I was lost. I'm lost. Feel free to let me know. Price point to be considered before buying. For what stock, Vin? So let's see. Any news coming up right now on CNBC? Do we have anything coming up? Tesla share slide after it reports its first drop in annual delivery numbers. Let's see what else. Anything else we need to know? I haven't been signed in. I gotta sign in later. But Nvidia got a big analyst call. Apple got, maybe we can see in Koifin. Let's go to Koifin real quick. I just want to see Nvidia. Did we get anything? Nope, not that I see anything. Nvidia invests 1 billion. Oh, this one was pretty interesting. Nvidia invests an aggregate of $1 billion in artificial companies last year that ranged across 50 startup funding rounds and numerous corporate agreements, the Financial Times reported. Um, let's see. I actually wanted to read on that one. So Nvidia 1 billion. Come on, 1 billion investment. Nvidia racked up 1 billion to spend on AI deals. Reject optional. Let's see what companies they invested on. Man, why can't things be easy and just be like, hey, look. Okay, yeah. So Nvidia's investment they invested in XAI, Perplexity. I forgot they invested in Perplexity. OpenAI. Oh yeah, I remember that. And other stuffs crossed about $1 billion. Um, Funding rounds for AI models, OpenAI, Cohere, Mistral, Perplexity. They also acquired several AI software firms, including Run AI, Nebulon, and Octo AI. So see, NVIDIA is definitely making acquisitions. They're just not making those big acquisitions that would get stopped. But NVIDIA is definitely making some acquisitions, and they're investing in these AI companies. I want to say one of the main reasons they invest in AI companies is so they can see where the workload is going for, and like that they can develop their chips correctly, saying, hey, look, this is where we see AI scientists needing improvements on. That's where we're going to work on providing either software improvements or maybe even hardware improvements, networking improvements, and the list goes on and on. So if you have any question, guys, feel free to let me know on the comments. We do have about 9 minutes before the market opens. Load the boat on Nvidia at 128. I definitely like it in the 120s. I definitely like it at 120s. Yes, Chinese HBM2 and CoWoS capacity is rising fast. And that's so I've talked about it with Micron, right, Pandora? I do believe HBM is creating a moat on their newest technology. But I think HBM itself is not going to be HBM, the older generations, HBM2, and eventually HBM3 is going to become a commodity, very similar to the rest of the memory market. But with memory evolving at such a rapid pace, there's going to be more focus on the newer technologies by customers like Nvidia, so HBM4, HBM4E, and whatever comes out with HBM4. And those are the ones that are create great margins, and they also have great trade ratio of DRAM. So as long as a company can keep innovating, and right now Micron is continuing to innovate, they, in my opinion, could win. But if there's any slowdown in innovation, it could definitely cause some negative sentiment to Micron. I did see some reports that Micron are a little bit worried, or some companies are worried that we're not going to see too much consumer spending in 2025. And obviously that could be impactful for companies like Micron, like Apple, and the PC space. Thoughts on Sound, one of Nvidia's investment. Run. I'm not a bull on Sound. I definitely see the market, and there's definitely a lot of AI markets that can benefit, and Sound is definitely one of them. I just think informs. Okay, this company, I think there's benefits. Now, as an investment, that's a whole different story, right? You can be bullish in a company's technology innovation, but then are you willing to pay that price? And I think that's something I had to learn multiple years ago, where I believe certain companies were doing really well, but a lot of that was priced in. I think with SoundHound, that's where we're at right now. I think their technology as a business is pretty good, but how much of that is priced in? I think a lot of it doesn't mean it's all priced in. I think a lot of it has been priced in, so that risk to reward ratio just doesn't fall into my favor. It might fall into someone else's favor. The stock can continue to go up, but for me, the risk to reward ratio is just not there for me to make kind of, hey, look, I want to buy into SoundHound. But again, that doesn't mean the stock is going to go down from here. If there was one investment that Nvidia has that actually I own, is this one, Recursion Pharmaceutical, RXRX. I do think the biotech market is going to be big with AI. I don't think this is gonna. I don't. There's not a guarantee that this is gonna be the winner, but this is one of those that If it is a winner, I believe it's going to be a multi-big winner. But this is more what I call my gamble bets, where the risk to reward is both extremely high. I think the risk is really high. The stock can pretty much go down dramatically, but it also at the current price points, the reward is also pretty high. So this is high risk, high reward for me, and the only Nvidia investment that I own right now, and very small share as well. Um, Nvidia has billions in cash, and spending only millions is like having 1,000 in your pocket and spending a few dollars. Well, I mean, they spent the 1 billion right in investments, and they only have about 40 billion in it. So that's about spending. If you had $40, you spent $1. I think that's a good chunk change, right? They have 40 billions in cash, and they spent about 1 billion, 1 billion in investments in 2024 alone. Um, so glad I bought Nvidia 12 years ago. That is insane. JD, now look, you go back in time with all the money you've made, create a time machine, go back in time, make a YouTube video, make YouTube channels, and just tell us all to buy Nvidia 12 years ago. When was that? 2012. So YouTube was still a thing. Definitely do it. All right, you'll be the best content creator out there. Any thoughts on ARC? Um, in forms of investment, no. In forms, I think ARC is great to kind of get ideas, right? And that's how I feel like every investor should think about other YouTubers, even YouTubers like myself, other investment firms, other ETF companies, other news sources for in the stock world like Motley Fool, there's Benzinga, and the list goes on, right? I use them as information gathering, as idea thinking of, hey, look, oh, this one seems interesting. I'm not just gonna buy a stock because a YouTuber made a video. I'm not just gonna buy a stock because I read a super quick 5-minute article about it. I'm gonna say, hey, look, that stock, what they mentioned seems interesting. Let me do more research on it and see if it's something I'll enjoy. Oh man, the love. You know what? I am here on. I don't. I'm using a live stream solution that I don't get to see if I get super chats. So my apologies. Let me go to my main thingy. Um, Jose, the love, I appreciate first. Let me say I appreciate the super chat. It's not that I missed it. The kind of software that I was using did not show that to me. Let me see if there's a way I can do it. But now I'm on the YouTube platform right now. If you were entering SMH ETF for yourself, at what price level would enter with a large lump sum? I have a large lump sum to invest, plus I will DCA weekly. I This one's interesting. I've always mentioned that if there was one stock I would own, it would be a semiconductor ETF. SMH would do that. If there was one stock I would buy on a weekly basis, it would be that. I'm horrible at buying, at buying a lump sum. So, for example, my son has huge funds. My son is luckily blessed, and I'm putting a lot of money on his 529. I didn't want to put all the money in the market at once. So what I'm doing is I'm just doing lump sums here or there. There's actually plenty of studies out there that say it's actually better when doing an ETF to put it all at once. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about how you'll be able to sleep at night. I know I probably get better returns on an ETF or an index ETF, something very similar to VanEck, which follows the SOXX index, I believe, or SOX index. Um, to I personally, right, and this is just because of my style, I'm not a huge fan of doing a big lump sum. I would just do, hey, a little bit this month, a little bit this next month, a little bit next month, and also do my weekly DCAs as well. That's how I would play it, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot better information on how to do it. Like I mentioned, I think I would say there are studies that say, hey, look, um, it's better to just do it at a big sum. But if you're, I would say, I don't know. The semiconductor market is very cyclical. It gives us opportunities. So I think I would go with more of like just weekly DCAs and also lump DCAs over time. That's how I would play it. But again, I could be completely wrong in there. Um, Boom, 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 boom. So my apologies, D-Love, that I missed the super chat question. My apologies. I appreciate the super chat. I will now be checking, as I didn't know that this program I'm using does not show me that. So I'm gonna move that here so I can see that. But I never want to seem ungrateful for any of the support you guys give me. So pretty much appreciate it. Alex, I actually agree with Nvidia going into the CPU. They should hire the smartest guys from Stanford, MIT, and let them do that. That would be good use of their money. I agree, but Alex, I think I mentioned it in the video, few videos. I think they should only do it for high margin markets. I wouldn't want Nvidia to enter the CPU space or the ASIC space if it wasn't a high margin product and it was going to highly dilute their shares. Actually, that's actually, oh, you're thinking about it as not the consumer CPU. You're thinking about it as their data center CPU with their data center ASIC solution. That's now another market I didn't even think about, but agree that can help them really well and could drive even more sales on their CPU as well. What are your opinion on Applied? So Sandy, this is one that I also do enjoy. I do enjoy this one. Has it actually calmed down a little bit in stock price? This is one that I'm watching. I'm definitely watching this one. I think this is one that has opportunity, but again, this is one that's going to be the high risk, high reward. So if I was to invest, it would be small position. I've done a video on them. Definitely Applied stock. Jose Najarro. I hope my SEOs are good. Yep. So I did a video on them. I think I did two. Nvidia's APLD. I think this one was a kind of a deep dive on it. Let me just see. Hey, look, it's me. Yeah, so I kind of did a deep dive on them. I'm gonna post the link here. Let's see if it comes out. It's definitely one I'm. I've mentioned my thoughts there. Definitely watch it. It's one I would prefer to get on to at better price points. I believe the market can give us bigger opportunities for this one, but there's also growth opportunities in this one right now. There's a lot of risk behind it. It would be one of those small plays in my portfolio if I did. Is the market up? Open. I mean, we have Supermicro. I don't know why Supermicro. Nvidia is up 2.4%. I thought you up right now. AMD is also up 2.4%. So hopefully we keep these greens right now in the AI market, in the semiconductor market. But it does seem like we're starting off 2025 with a good year, with a good movement. Hopefully it at least stays here to the rest of the day. And some, let's see. We have Aehr Test Systems up 3%. We have NVMI and a lot of semiconductor stocks up 2 to 3% right now. Some up about 1.5%. I'm pretty much bullish. I'm happy. I'm pretty sure my portfolio is doing good today. Aehr Test System. This one is chugging along. I am happy we did videos on Aehr Test System a while ago. What's going on? What's going on, Matthew? Welcome. I'm late. Yeah, you're early. Market just opened, so you're early, Matt. Appreciate the support. The HGX20 is selling very well in China. This is very true, Vin, right? And this is one of the things, like, even with Nvidia selling the weaker down version in other countries because of export restrictions, they're still able to sell because they have it's not just about the hardware system, right? It's about the whole ecosystem, the software, the complete system solution, the other solutions that they provide, from continuing innovation, continually working on bugs. So even if they provide a weaker version in other places, they're still able to sell pretty good. Nvidia's last buyback was 11 billion. Hopefully they take that up a few notches too. Too much sitting in short-term traders. They are. I think they're going to continue to increase the buyback. I think that's their biggest return to shareholders right now. They're not going to increase dividend. This game requires efforts and homework to be good. You know, I don't know why. For some reason, that comment just made me really hungry right now. Not hungry for knowledge, but just hungry in general. I'm starving now. And that's actually, that Nvidia missed the chance to name their CUDA or they could also come down something with qubits. Is it qubits or qubits? No, qubits. Qubits, yeah. Q duh. That actually would have been cute. I don't know if that was the right word to say. Jose just read semi-analysis article comparing AMD and Nvidia. Ronnie, I was disappointing as an AMD shareholder how behind their software is. I'm in software engineer and they have some very questionable basic software practices. So Ronnie, agree. That one opened up my eyes on how behind AMD is. But it also reminded me if AMD is this behind, imagine these other players as well that are just entering the AI chip market, right? So you're always hearing all these companies, Cerebras or whatever they're called, all these AI companies developing something. Their hardware could be great, but like I mentioned before, if the software stack isn't there, it's pretty much garbage. Now, Ronnie, I want to say something. That paper was mainly focused on training, and training is something we know AMD is not good on. I believe Semi Analysis is going to release another article, Ronnie, on inference, and I believe it might be a little bit different there. So it was mainly on the training side, so that's also important to remember, Ronnie. But I completely agree. Beloved, no, thank you, appreciate it. The for the super chat, it means a lot. It really does mean a lot. And I don't know how many we have here in this live stream. I don't know if how well it does, but I do appreciate the comments, guys, and the support. Just the interaction, excuse me, just the interaction with you, the viewers. It helps build. I get to learn more about you, right? I think 2024, I focused too much on making content that I feel like maybe I forgot about the viewers or you guys that support me. So hopefully with these live streams, not only am I providing good information for you, right? That's what 2024 was about. I was trying to make the best videos with the best information. And that's how I wanted to return my appreciation to you, the viewers, right? By providing great information. But I believe there's also a missing key point that I had and was not building that connection with you guys. And hopefully that live stream might help me kind of close that gap, right? Where I'm providing what I believe is great information for semiconductor investors, but then I'm also trying to understand what you, the viewers, want to know as well. And these live streams, I can probably answer a lot of Q&A sessions. Outside of that, quick plug-in, whatthechipHappened.com, my free daily semiconductor newsletter. With the holidays, obviously it hasn't been completely daily, but with earnings coming back up, make sure to check it out. A lot of updates going to be there, especially with CES, a lot of new technology. So check out whatthechipHappened.com, free newsletter, pinned comment above. All right, so let's go back to where we're at right now. So let's continue to see Alphabet is down. Now, oh man, I still got to pick my top stocks for this year. I really want to do that. I feel like we did really good in 2024 with my top stocks. I want to do the same thing here in 2025. I think Google might make the list. Thanks a lot. I'll watch this, Andy. Hopefully that's about the applied materials one. I hope you enjoy it. I need SMCI to go up. SMCI, in my opinion, is going to be one of those plays that's just really dependent on news right now. It's what I want a coin flip. If we get good news about their filings, the stock is going to skyrocket. If you get bad news about their filings, the stock price is going to decline. So I think it's now just a waiting game for news to come out. Pedrino, should I enter S&P 500 now or wait? I mean, most of the markets experts always say in the S&P 500, it's great to dollar cost average. It's better to time in the market is better than timing the market. That's the normal consensus. If I was just buying into SPY, if I was a new investor, if I was telling my younger self how to invest, I think I would say, hey, Jose, don't worry about stock prices right now. Just weekly DCA, weekly, monthly, whatever DCA, dollar cost average into S&P 500, the Qs, or a semiconductor ETF. I would tell myself the semiconductor ETF, but obviously many would say S&P 500 or the Qs. But yeah, like I said, long run, just want to know your opinion on my entering point. I believe time, and we've seen plenty of studies. Time in the market is better than timing the market, especially if you're young. I'm not trying to knock anyone's young hustle. usually in your younger years, you're not making as much money as your older years. So you could make, and my apologies there, you could make mistakes in your younger years and it's not going to affect you much, right? So in your younger years, you're probably putting a lot of money to what is a lot of money to you right now, right? It's all about perspective. And this is the thing about personal finances. But if you're bullish on yourself, the amount of money you're making on right now is probably very low compared to what you're going to be making 10 years from now, right? And that's so if you're just starting off, make the mistakes right now. Obviously, it's going to suck, it's going to hurt. But now in the future, if you're very bullish on yourself, those mistakes are going to be more of just learning lessons. Um, Sandy, what purchase? Um, Not sure if we'll go over 140 by the end of the day. I mean, let's see. I agree. I mean, I don't know. With Nvidia, I could care less with daily prices. It's always fun to see. I don't think it's impossible for it to hit 140, but I couldn't tell you. If you were to tell me Nvidia was going to end today at 130 or 140, I would say, yeah, either of those sound pretty possible. What price points would you consider buying APLD, Sandy? I don't know, Sandy. I have to look at this one. I got to rewatch my video to remember my thought process. But if I was to add right now, it would be kind of small position. Um, why is AMD lagging so much, Tim? AMD is lagging so much because the market, I think the market believes AMD is not going to be an AI winner. I actually believe it is going to be an AI winner. It's not going to be the winner. Last year, I think in the beginning of the year, everybody thought AMD was the next Nvidia. I would never think AMD is the next Nvidia. And those expectations of AMD being the next Nvidia caused the stock to go up to 211. After that, I think we saw the opposite rubber band effect, where right now, if you were to ask more people what's going to happen with AMD, most people are going to say AMD sucks. Most people are going to say Lisa Su sucks for some reason. I think Lisa Su is such an amazing CEO. And now we're getting the opposite effect. Just as we saw so much expectations in early 2024, I think now we're seeing too much depression or negativity. I believe NVIDIA, AMD at these price points, I like a lot. People need to consider with respect to is that what WRT stands for? With respect to WRT meaning with respect to. But then you added the two after that, Alex. That's what confused me. So people need to consider with respect to quantum in the 90s. Look at all the search engines, ISPs, browsers, Netscape, blah, 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 no longer exist. I think IBM and Google will win at quantum. Agree. I think the next big players in such innovative technology is going to be one of the big companies right now. Maybe one of these big companies might buy one of these small companies to help kind of fuel it. But it's definitely a very interesting time to be in the quantum market. Other companies, and Alex, another great way to look at it is just the electric vehicle market, right? We kind of in 2020 we saw this huge craze for electric vehicles, and just a few years after that, of these APOs of electric vehicles, a lot of them went under, right? So in a very recent example, I think electric vehicle would kind of agree with that sentiment. This is great. Shalom from Israel. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the support. NVIDIA is taking off. Also VST, VRT, and GAV looking good. I'm pretty sure these are infrastructure plays, right, Matthew? Time in the market, agree. Time in the market greater than time in the market is one of the best Wall Street there are. Most true. Dollar cost average. Don't think about price too much. Agree. So agree. Right, that that dollar cost averaging is going to be very, very important. I was just asking because I'm aware that a recession might be coming. Thanks. And Pedrino, this is going to be the thing. Especially if you're young, you're going to experience a lot of, maybe not a lot. You're going to experience some downturns. You're going to experience some recessions. The market, usually when that happens, it scares off investors. If you were to look at my YouTube views sucked in 2022, 2023 when the market was down. But that's when I was buying heavy. That's when I bought a lot into a lot of these AI companies. Those are the times of opportunities. Those opportunities are not going to look like opportunities during the time frame. But I think it's a common saying that millionaires are made during bear markets, and it's not because you're shorting stocks during a bear market. That's not the reason why. It's because those that are winning, those that stay investing during the bear markets, get those amazing dollar cost averages, decide to put a lot more money during those times. Even though the market can continue to go down, I think bear markets are, as an investor, obviously, if a recession or something or down stocks happen, it's because there's something negative happening in the economy world, and a lot of people are being affected. But right now, I'm keeping that mindset outside of it and thinking as an investor. As an investor, downturns are probably great opportunities if you're able to handle, if you have cash available, if you're able to invest a lot during that time frame. Um, Pedrinho. Pedrinho. My apologies. The Portuguese Pedrinho. Can I just say Pedro? My apologies. No disrespect there. AMD's corporation, Jason Nvidia Bio talk about how corporate process is too low for the market. They don't have the culture. I agree. That's the thing. I mean, and I think it's not just AMD. No one can compete with Nvidia right now. I mean, you have big tech players, Amazon developing their own AI chips and stuff like that, and no one is buying. It's gonna use Amazon's AI chips right now, except Apple, because I guess they got a really good deal. Now Nvidia is down. How far behind am I? I'm 4 minutes behind. Nvidia stock is down right now, and it's back up. Sandy, excellent live stream, the best I've seen. I've been in by far. Appreciate Sandy, appreciate it. My overall, like I said, I think there's a lot of different contents out there, different content styles for the market. My overall market is, I don't have too many friends that invest, right? And I feel like this community, these live streams, can help us just discuss what's happening in the market right now. We don't need to know exactly why this stock is down at this moment, but at least understand some of the things that are improving. I was saying true to what Jose was saying. Appreciate, Matthew. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Nvidia has years of lead time ahead of several other reasons. I agree, and it's not just because of the hardware, right? Theoretically, many people in the, I want to say many semiconductor analysis believe that AMD is actually better at chip designs. They've done things like advanced packaging a lot faster than some of the other players. But just because you kind of have the best chip in paper doesn't necessarily mean it's the best chip overall. So maybe I might have said that wrong. AMD is great at adopting new technologies a lot earlier than others. But that doesn't mean you're gonna be the winner just because you do that. Let's see, and let me just make sure I didn't miss any other chats outside of this thingy. Appreciate. All right, let's see what we have here. Oops, hold on. Let's see what AMD. AMD is up. Let me just keep sharing. Possible that Nvidia hits 140 tomorrow? Possible. Yes, it's possible. I think it's possible. Will it happen? That's a whole different story. But possibility, a $5 move for Nvidia in 24 hours is not impossible. Thank you for much. I will follow you more for sure. And there's a lot. Also, I personally don't watch other YouTubers. I really don't. But if you do watch other YouTubers, just be careful. I'm not saying, if you watch a video, use that more as a idea generating thing. Never use another video as a reason to buy. Use it as, hey, look, they mentioned this company. Maybe they're onto something. Let me do my research. And I think if investors did that, there would be a lot better returns all around. I was last buying Nvidia fall 2012, today equivalent to $12 a share. Then the August 5th, agree. I want to say my last purchases of Nvidia was in August. I think those were my last purchases of Nvidia. And it's the opportunities. You wait for those opportunities, right, Matthew? You wait and pounce. That's what I'm thinking. I might wait a bit, enter a lower price, or might enter half now. That's actually, that's how I would play it, right? I normally would play it where you don't know, you never know. This market can continue to go up, so I would put money now, and then I would dollar cost average with the rest. Because sometimes, and I do that with like my son's 529, right? I put some money in, and then I weekly dollar cost average everything else I have for him. It's always recessions. Recession about is always yep. I mean the S&P 500, right? Even if you bought at the even if you bought at the worst times in the max, right? No matter when you bought, sure you it might have sucked if you bought at the peak in 27 at 144 and then the stock declined to 76. Historically, S&P 500 wins for investors. So everybody, is there any final questions you guys might have, guys, gals might have before I run out of the stream? Aehr stock is doing great. I am happy. I am happy. Aehr stock up 10%. But what? This is interesting. Aehr Test System reschedules quarter two earnings to January 13th. Now, why would it do that? Oh, never mind. Okay, that was a little. I forgot. It was the National Day of Mourning for President Carter. Yep, yep. Okay. Woo, that was stuff like that is a little bit weird. But all right. So if you have any questions, feel free. I buy when everyone is agree, Matthew. When everybody is saying, "Ah, see, I told you, bears were right." Those are when things look good. Um, Hold on, I'm gonna share this. I wonder will it show it correctly? It doesn't. This platform. Maybe I might look at another platform, but I think there might be other platforms better than this one right now. But Matthew, I agree. They go What is a good price for Nvidia? The Wink. I mean, I personally like it right now at under 120s, but that's because I have a big position, so I'm willing to be more patient. Some might say dollar cost average right now. I don't know, right? Nvidia is one of those stocks that is what is happening right now is so new. The AI market is so new. AI innovation, supply constraint. There's so many pieces that it's very hard to do it. Um, Ronnie, do you use any dollar cost fundamental cash? I'm guessing cash flow analysis, cash flow analysis, fundamentals, strategies when and no, I don't. I don't, Ronnie. Um, what I tend to do is I really do look at the technology behind the stock. I I think I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to the investment world, but I think one of my biggest strength is my engineering and it's weird to say my imagination. So luckily because of my work experience, I believe I can see where certain technologies could go into, right? It could enter this market. It could be used for that technology. It could be used for that industry. And this could be great, right? So I think that engineering levels my imagination to something that could be realistic within the next 5 years. And that together helped me find the companies that I want to invest in. Then I learn more about them, read earnings calls, but fundamental analysis of like cash flow and stuff like that is not something in my overall strategy. I know it's for others and it works well. I just found what works for me. And I think for me, the experience that I have with technology, the experience that I have with this, whatever I call imagination or whatever, helps me find the companies that I'm willing to invest in. And I think that's what pushes me more into more of like a growth style investor opposed to maybe some other type of investor as well. But I think also because of that experience in engineering, it also levels me into certain investments. Like it forces me not to really look too much into quantum computing right now. It forces maybe me to slow down on nuclear power right now as stocks have seen some of the excitement, right? So I'm really happy with the experience I have in engineering because I believe it has created a small edge for me. Not a massive edge. I'm also wrong a lot, but it has created a small edge for me. So I don't use it, but that's the reason I don't use it. I found something that works for me. And I'm pretty sure everybody has something that works for them. You just really, really have to find it. Um, Pedro, have you ever looked at Samsung stock? Um, you know what? Samsung is not one I enjoy right now in forms of the semiconductor market. They are in the manufacturing market. They are in the memory business. Obviously, they have a lot and a lot and a lot of consumer products as well. But in forms of semiconductor players, they're not doing that well in manufacturing based on reports. They have lower yields than TSM. And in forms of memory They're losing the market in HBM to companies like Micron and SK Hynix. I don't follow the consumer space that well. That can obviously be a tailwind for them in the future, but not a reason why I would invest. All right, guys. So I think I'm coming up with the end of this live stream. I appreciate the support. Thank you for the super chats that I've received. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the support. If you haven't, make sure to check out the free daily newsletter. The link is on the pinned comments. Take care. Have a good day. And like always, I am going to awkwardly end this stream because I don't have a great way to do it. Peace out and maybe see you all tomorrow.